I'm quite frustrated right now because the game the Eagles were cheated in my personal opinion, and probably Tony Romo's personal opinion, since he talked about how that Bo Nix grounded the football. There was no receivers by the vicinity of the football, yet the officials picked the flag up because it seems like that all the money was on the Eagles to win that game. The Eagles were undefeated at that point in time, so I wouldn't doubt if shenanigans like that happened. My concern is the Eagles are the number one seed right now. I feel like they might have a tougher schedule left compared to the Rams, and I don't know if the Eagles can win out. I think the Rams could possibly win out. There are some teams on the Rams schedule that could cause them problems. I think it's at least one, and there's divisional games, but the Rams, I believe the Rams own the Arizona Cardinals. I believe they don't ever usually lose to the Arizona Cardinals, so that's not a threat. And also, Arizona's not that good, in my personal opinion. I mean, the record would validate my claims that Arizona's not really good. I know divisional games are sometimes weird, but so I know you're not supposed to look ahead. I can't help but to do this because I'm concerned about. I don't know if we can go. I don't know if we'll. I'm pissed right now. The Eagles should be 9-1 right now. Bo Nix grounded the football in that fourth quarter against us, and the Denver cornerback, I don't know his name, but I remember him shoving Dallas Goedert before the football was in his vicinity. That should have been a pass interference, but somehow the officials had a blindfold on and didn't see that happen, apparently. And those are two missed calls. One should have been a call because they threw the flag out. They picked it up. God knows why they picked it up. Where was the receiver at? Where was Bo Nix thrown? He grounded the football. Like, that's not fair. I know life's not fair, tough shit, and this is just football, and it's not the biggest deal in the world. But I really want the Eagles to repeat. Like, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit to you. I want to see, like, history be made with my team that I root for. The team that plays 30 minutes away from where I live. I want to see the Philadelphia Eagles, a.k.a. America's bird team, since the Eagles, that bald eagle is the bald eagle of America. Everybody knows that already, even though there's been a couple countries that have had eagles as their animals, whatever you want to call it, the animal for their country, whatever. But I don't know if it was a bald eagle, but I think Germany used to have one. I don't know if they still have that as their main bird. It probably is. It used to be on their money. I know it was on their bad money because collectors collect that stuff. And I've looked at that stuff, and it's interesting stuff. It's a bad time period, obviously, so we don't have to talk about that. I'll move on from that. I know people are sensitive, especially in this day and age. Did I say that right? But anyways, I think the Philadelphia Eagles will beat Dallas in this game. I think the offense is going to wake up. I think Dallas's defense is still suspect. I believe Dallas looked really good against the Las Vegas Raiders because Las Vegas Raiders aren't that good. Now, I know Las Vegas's defense looked like they looked good against the Denver Broncos. That's a divisional game, so it's hard to know what was going on in that game. But the Raiders lost that game still, so the Raiders just lose all the time. So they have a reputation of being losers. So whether you win a game in a blowout or whether you win a game in a close game, a win is a win. You know what I mean? And that's something the Raiders can't do. So I don't know how much we take away from that game. I personally think the Eagles D-line will be able to bat the some of Dak Prescott's passes in this game because they seem to be doing really good with that. But I don't know if the win was playing a factor and why they were batting so many of Jared Goff's balls down. But I think it's because our D-line is starting to really click with each other. Like they massively improved, and I know that I think we got a couple players. Was there somebody Phillips? I believe is he on the D line? Somebody's on the D line that I believe we have another player there that's also helping Jalen Carter bat some of the balls down. So that's good. The Eagles' offense has to wake up in this game. I think the Cowboys' defense is a little bit suspect still. I did notice when I was watching the Raiders game that the Cowboys' defense, their secondary still has a problem keeping up with speedy receivers. Like, they'll end up grabbing them and stuff like that. I think they got one or two penalties from doing that, where they were clearly grabbing on them. And I think they're going to try to do that in this game. I hope, if the officials are fair, they're going to be paying attention that if somebody's grabbing on somebody, trying to slow them down because they can't keep up with them, you're going to have to call that. I know sometimes that can be a little bit ticky-tack, but it depends on, I don't know. I'm not really concerned about this game in the sense that I do think the Eagles win this game. There are a bunch of people picking the Cowboys to win, but maybe that's a good thing because that gives the Eagles motivation, like even more motivation, because people are saying, well, you guys are frauds, you guys are not as good as your record indicates, you guys haven't been able to score points lately. People ignoring the fact that I believe that the Lions and the Packers have a pretty solid defense. They're pretty good teams. I would not call a 4-5-1 team a good team. The Cowboys are not a very good team. I know this is a divisional game, and weird things do happen. Dallas did play us tough in the first game in Philadelphia, but you got to remember Jalen Carter wasn't in the game. Dak spit near him. Dak didn't spit at him, so I'm not saying Dak's a bad guy. No, I'm not saying that about Dak. I'm saying Jalen Carter should have been smarter, not spit on Dak. Now, do I think that Dak may have baited him? Probably. They're trying to take out one of the better D-lines for the Eagles, so I would say Dak probably used his brain, knows that Jalen Carter's sometimes a little bit of a hothead, but I think Jalen Carter's starting to get a little bit better with that. I think he's realizing, like, I'm not going to let people bait me, but I think that's what was going on there. I could be completely wrong. Maybe Dak's really just saying, like, I just had to spit. Sometimes I spit, too. Like, when I'm jogging, I spit, or, like if I got mucus in my throat, sometimes I just try to spit and try to get it out. So it's very normal for people to do. So I don't know if, but also I think wasn't there some beef going on? I think Dak was saying Jalen Carter was talking smack to one of his young offensive linemen or something like that. So Dak probably went up there and he's like, you're gonna talk smack to me, I'm gonna spit near you and like try to like jolt you a little bit. But he didn't spit at him. Like, it's different. It's completely different. So, yeah. But anyways, let's move on from that. I do think the Eagles take this game. I'm not very worried about it. But I hope they win it. I think they'll win it. And then the Eagles come home for Black Friday, and they play the Chicago Bears. I think we take this game. The Bears have been playing better football lately, but they might be better. Maybe I don't know if they're better on the home or away. I forget what their 3 losses are. I didn't check that. But I believe the Eagles should be able to take this game. Now, the Bears are a very weird team. They come back in the fourth quarter. They're kind of like the Denver Broncos in that sense, where Denver Broncos had played really well in the fourth quarter. Even against us, they played very well against us in the fourth quarter. That was probably their best. I know it was their best. I think it was their best quarter, I believe. But there was still shenanigans going on where, like, Bo Nix grounded the football in that game. There's no doubt about it. I haven't even heard a Broncos fan challenge me and said, no, he did not. Nobody's saying that because they know he did. But, I mean, like, it's their team, so they're not going to say, well, no, we didn't actually legitimately get this win, and the refs didn't help us. They're not going to admit that the refs helped them in that game. And people aren't going to admit that there's shenanigans going on in sports in general. They just caught people in the NBA rigging games and what do they call it? Point shading? No, what do they call that? What the hell do they call that? Point shaving. I'm sorry, point shaving. There was players point shaving, and they were rigging games in that sense where they're like, here, we're going to win lots of money because we're betting on ourselves to like how many points we put up and how many points we don't put up, stuff like that. Like shenanigans like that happen in the NBA. So if you're going to tell me there's not shenanigans going on in the NFL, you are out of your mind. Sports is corrupt. It's in every sport. There's some riggedness to going on. Like, there's some aspects of it that are corrupt as hell. Anyways, I do think the Eagles take this Bears game too. Now, this Eagles-Chargers game kind of worries me because the Chargers right now, they're blowing games they should probably win. Like that, most people thought the Chargers were going to go into Jacksonville and win against Jaguars. They blew that game. Now, the Eagles, in my opinion, still have to win out because if they don't win out, there could be a problem because, again, I think the Rams could win out because I looked at the Rams' schedule. I actually think the Rams have a pretty soft schedule other than the fact that they play the Lions. That could be a loss for them, but because historically the Rams usually lose against the Lions, but that game takes place in Los Angeles, so that will benefit the Rams. And even if people say, well, the Rams don't really have fans, there might be more Detroit fans. That's not the point. Like, a team is more comfortable probably playing at their home stadium, whether the players admit it or not. I know there's players in the Eagles say we can play anywhere. I believe they can play anywhere, but I also think there's an advantage, a huge advantage, playing your home field because you're just more comfortable. Even if it's not always the crowd noise, which the crowd noise does play a big factor, especially in Philadelphia. But like, take the crowd noise out of it. I just think there's a home field advantage because you know that stadium so well. You know what I mean? I think each stadium's a little bit different. Maybe has a little bit different look to it. Obviously, the fields are a little bit different too, I believe. Some are real grass, some are not real grass. I believe the Eagles field is real grass, or do they plant real grass? I believe our field is real grass. Don't quote me on that. And we also play outside, which could be an advantage in the sense that, like, you saw the weather game. Like, that was really affected both teams to some extent. So I'm not saying it's like, but I think the Eagles are more used to that environment because they play in an outside stadium, which is an advantage, in my opinion. But anyways, this Eagles-Chargers game, I'm going to take us, but I am a little bit worried about this game right here because I think the Chargers have blown a couple games this year, and the thing about the Chargers is that they're going to be really motivated for this game, other than the fact they're playing the defending Super Bowl champions. And they even, Harbaugh, he had them doing the push-tush. So, like, Harbaugh respects the Eagles a lot, and they're going to play this game. Oh, it's also a night game. Of course it's a night game. We're the prime time. We're the defending Super Bowl champions. We're probably going to have a bunch of them the more we win, which is fine with me, but it's going to be in Los Angeles. Also, Chargers, again, they're like the Rams, where they don't have the most fans there. Eagles fans might take over the stadium, but again, the Chargers know how to play in that stadium. They know exactly what cleats to wear, stuff like that. They're just more comfortable playing at home like that. You just saw them play on the road against Jacksonville, and they played like crap. Now, the weak spot on the Chargers, we all know, is that their offensive line has been injured, and so they have weaker protection. But that's happened to the Eagles now. Now I think about it, Lane Johnson's going to be out, but I believe that his backup, what is it? Is it Fred Thompson? That's not his name, is it? It's somebody that has come in and has actually played pretty good. He's getting better and better and better. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's on Lane Johnson's level, obviously, but I'm saying he's not terrible either. But, yeah, anyways, I got the Eagles in this game. And then when the Raiders come to us, of course, this is one of the games where I'd rather have played, I would have rather the Eagles go to Las Vegas, because the Raiders are not a very good team. The Raiders are going to go on the road against us, and we're going to win this game. We're going to probably dominate this game. The Raiders are a bad football team this year. And then the Eagles go to the Washington Redskins, and the Redskins are pretty banged up. I think we take this game. I hope we take this game. But divisional games, again, are weird. But we are better on paper. But I know you have to actually play the game. It's not about, oh, wow, look at this. They got the better roster here, better roster here. The Redskins are missing their quarterback, or they might sit, even if Jaden Daniels, I'm sorry. Even if Jaden Daniels comes, I don't know if he's going to come back for this game because he got seriously injured. Is he out for the season? I don't know if he's out for the season. I forget. I didn't look at the health status, but you probably just want to save Jaden Daniels for next year. So I don't know what the Washington Redskins are doing, but I think the Eagles will take this game. This is the game I'm most concerned about, the Eagles and Bills game. I think the Bills do have a questionable defense, but the problem is this is on the road in Buffalo. It's hard to play in Buffalo, and this is a December 28th game. Do the Bills have an outside stadium, or do they have a dome? I forget. It would be a huge advantage if the Bills have an outside stadium, because that would affect us, because it will be really cold in Buffalo on December 28th. And this is the game that I think the Eagles might lose, and I don't want them to. Obviously, as an Eagles fan, I don't want them to lose. But this is the one that concerns me the most out of the final games left. And the second game is the Chargers one. These two games are the ones I'm really scared about. Those are the ones I'm worried about right there, the Chargers and the Bills. Chargers, I think we're better than the Chargers, but the problem is, when you're playing a desperate team that might realize that they actually have to start winning, otherwise they might miss the playoffs, those are dangerous teams sometimes. And Justin Herbert's really good. You know what I mean? So, and obviously Josh Allen's MVP from last year, right? And some might argue he's an MVP this year. So this is the game I'm worried about, really big time right here. I'm not really worried about Washington. I think they're dealing with a lot of injuries still. And I think we're going to take both the Washington games. Now we can look at the Rams schedule. The Rams schedule scares the crap out of me because I personally think the Rams are going to win the Buccaneers game. The Buccaneers are really banged up. They're not looking good. But the problem, the thing is that right now the Buccaneers, I don't know how many wins they really need. They already realize they're going to win their division because their division stinks. The Atlanta Falcons aren't very good. The Carolina Panthers. Okay, well, you know what? The Carolina Panthers are still alive actually for that division. But I don't have them winning this week. I have the 49ers beating them because the 49ers also need a win to try to get into the playoffs too. So that's going to be pretty interesting. But in this game, I got the Rams in this game. I just think they're the better football team. I think they're the healthier football team. I got the Rams by like 7+ points. I don't know what the odds made this, but I just think the Rams are a superior team to the Buccaneers right now. If the Buccaneers were healthy, they would be one of the nastiest, probably favored in the NFC, but because they're pretty good when they're healthy. But like, I don't know. I'm not even like if the Buccaneers have to play us in the playoffs. If we're in the number 1 seed, I don't know who we would. If the Eagles end up being the number 1 seed, if the Eagles can win out and keep that number 1 seed, and a team like Tampa has to come and play us, I'm not afraid of Tampa this year. Like if Tampa was healthy, I'd be afraid of them. But I think where they're at right now, I think the Eagles are much better. With that said, I thought Tampa was a little bit banged up when we played them earlier this year. We were beating up on them, and then we didn't let them, but they earned their way back into the game, and that scared the crap out of me because I was like, oh my god, this Buccaneers team. We all know that Buccaneers team isn't that healthy, so that's a problem right there. But I'm not worried if we have to play the Buccaneers in the playoffs. I think we beat them. I'm not even worried if we have to play the Panthers. The Panthers do have a good run game, but I think the Buccaneers are going to end up winning the NFC South. I just think they lose this, and I think that Carolina loses against the 49ers. That NFC South, don't be shocked if somebody that wins that division has like a losing record, or that's quite possible that happen. And then the next game, the Rams go to Carolina, play the Panthers. I would favor the Rams in this game. I think the Rams are a much better football team, obviously, and the Rams will be favored in this game. I don't know by how many points because it's in Carolina, but I think the Rams will win this game. I think they usually, if they think that person's a favorite, they might give you a 3-point or 3.5 favorite or something like that. So that Rams might be that. Depends what the Panthers look like against the 49ers. Probably if the Panthers look abysmal against the 49ers, that could make the Rams a huge favorite in this game. And then the Rams, they end up playing Cardinals in Arizona, and Cardinals aren't very good. I think this is the one team don't the Rams always beat the Cardinals? Is that the team that the Cardinals have problems with, or is it the 49ers or the, Jesus Christ, what's the other teams? I can't even think right now. Oh yeah, Seahawks. Oh, it would be the Seahawks. Maybe the Cardinals always lose to the Seahawks. Either way, I'm not impressed by the Cardinals. I think the Rams will take this. This is the game right here that could be a huge issue. Oh, also, there's another game. I didn't even notice that. The Seattle Seahawks-Rams game. But I got the Rams winning against the Lions in this game because Lions, they usually beat the Rams. I think that cycle is going to be broken this time because I think right now the Rams are actually playing a little bit better. It depends. When I see this game later on, maybe I'll end up going with the Lions if I think the Lions are playing good. But the Lions on the road are not the same team. Like they've already shown several times this year when they went to Kansas City, they didn't look that great in that game. They didn't look great against us either, but that was a windy game. Yeah, I got the Rams in this game, I think. But it is possible the Lions win this game. I have to see. Like my pick, my opinion on this game might change depending on what I see from the Lions in the upcoming weeks. So this game is, but it is a winnable game for the Lions, and this could be a loss against the Rams. But I'm gonna give the Rams the win in this for right now. If we compare the two teams right now, I think the Rams are playing better football. And then the next game we have the Rams at Seattle. Now this is a weird game. This is one that Rams could obviously lose. It's divisional opponent, a very high-level playing opponent, too. He's very good on offense and defense. The problem with this is Seattle's usually better on the road, and also I think the Rams know how to play Sam Darnold, and I think that's a problem because I think the defense of the Los Angeles Rams knows Sam Darnold very well. There's 2 back-to-back games where they just completely embarrassed him. Specifically, the last game, they got 4 turnovers on him. I don't know what they did in the playoff game. Did they get like 3 or 4 turnovers against him in that in the playoff game too? I know they dominated in that game too, and he had a bad performance. I know it's a team sport, but he's not looking great in either of those games. So people point to the quarterback saying, "Hey, you don't look good against this team. What's going on?" And I know a lot of that has to do with certain maybe receivers not running a certain route, or maybe something's causing this problem to happen. And I don't know if Seattle can fix that. So I might even give Rams this game. So the Rams and the Falcons. I'm not impressed by the Falcons. I don't care if this game takes place in Atlanta. I don't care if it's an 8-15 game. Atlanta is bad this year. Atlanta is their record. They're not doing anything. there's the race in the NFC South. The Falcons are out of it, even if the other two teams start losing a lot. Like if the Bucs start losing because of injuries, and the Panthers, if they start losing, it doesn't matter. It's going to be either the Buccaneers or the Panthers division to win. The Falcons, in my opinion, are out of it. Sorry, Atlanta fans, but it's just what it is. The Cardinals and the Rams. I would give it to the Rams. So every game, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 games I'm giving to the Rams. I'm not confident about 2 of the games. Just like the Eagles game, there's 2 games I'm not confident about. Like the Lions and Rams game go either way. It depends how the Lions are looking before this game. And I'm worried about the Lions on the road. They're just not the same team. They seem like they really play much better in Detroit. Like they're more comfortable playing in their stadium, which is a bad thing because in the playoffs, well, if you're a Lions fan, from their perspective, if the Lions make the playoffs and they have to go on the road against teams like the Eagles, who are you going to pick in that game? I'm going to pick my Eagles. If the Lions have to go on the road in the playoffs to play the Rams, who would you pick in that game? I would go lean towards the Rams. Like, you don't want to go on the road in the playoffs. Some teams are good at doing that. I know Aaron Rodgers, I believe he won his Super Bowl going on the road, but that also was kind of lucky that year because it was kind of weaker teams he was going on the road to beat. Like, I don't know. The Bears got into the playoffs that year, but most people are picking the Packers to win that game. Like, I didn't see many people picking Jay Cutler and the Bears to win that game. I saw a lot of people, even myself included, that year. I remember picking Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in that game. So, yeah. So these are the 2 games that could give the Rams problems, in my opinion. And obviously, people can include the divisional games, but I don't look at divisional games. When I think a team is much better than their divisional opponent, I take them usually. So that's how I look at it. But these are the 2 games that are for them. And then for the Eagles, it's Eagles Chargers and Eagles Bills. Really, neither the Eagles or Rams could afford to lose any more games. Like, even if the Rams end up being they'll be the 2nd seed or something like that. First and the 2nd seed is important. Like, whether you're the 1st or 2nd seed, it's important. Obviously, the 1st seed is really important if you want your team to get a bye week so they get healthy. Some people think that bye week's bad for certain teams where it can hurt you and you're not ready to play sometimes. I don't know. I don't know what the health status of Lane Johnson is. If the Eagles win out, if he comes back, if he can make it for the playoffs. I don't know if he's out for the season, or I didn't check that status yet. But he might be able to come back, and maybe the Eagles need the bye week for that. And also, you just want to get players healthy in general. Even though last year the Eagles, they were the number 2 seed, and the Lions had their bye week. When the Lions came back, they lost to the Redskins, so it works differently for each team. Maybe the Lions are better to keep playing and not having that bye week. Maybe we'll find that out this playoffs, but I don't think so. I think the favorite for the NFC right now is the Eagles and the Rams. Some people will say the Seahawks, but I think the people are dissing the Eagles. I think a lot of people hate us because they ain't us. But I would rank the Eagles over the Seahawks right now. I think the Eagles and Rams are the favorites to go to the Super Bowl this year. That's my prediction. The Buccaneers, no way in hell. They're too injured. I think they're really banged up. Aren't they? I don't know if some of those players are even coming back for the playoffs. Like, I don't see the Buccaneers going on a run. And on the AFC side, well, I don't have much time left. But on the AFC side, it's going to be somebody like the Ravens, the Broncos, or the Colts. Those are probably the 3 favorites over there. The 3 favorites over here, maybe, I don't know, maybe the Bears? I don't know. The Bears are kind of a weird team this year. This Bears team kind of reminds me of the one where they actually made the Super Bowl that one year, but then they didn't know they were caca, though. But they had, wasn't it Devin Heston? Is that his name, I believe? Am I getting the guy's name right? Where he ran it back for a touchdown against the Colts and Peyton Manning. That was an amazing start to that game, but then they kind of sucked the rest of the game. And it was Rex Grossman, who was their quarterback, I believe, at the time. He took a lot of slack. People said he's not good, but I don't want to shit on a quarterback because sometimes it's people not running the proper routes or many different things that could make a quarterback look bad, and then people blame the quarterback solely. Anyways, this is it for the video. Enjoy it. Bye-bye. Now I'll go bye-bye. I know people say, don't look ahead, don't look ahead. Well, I couldn't help but to look ahead because I'm worried right now because we got screwed in that Broncos game, in my opinion.